how much thought do people give to these sweet, juicy, ever so refreshing melons? Should we be paying more attention? Can melons actually make you sick? A recent multi-state salmonella outbreak in variety packs of pre-cut melons have been in the news. Dozens of people have been hospitalized due to these outbreaks. These can occur anytime, any place. But what is interesting is that the people were really struggling with these pre-cut melons. And it makes sense if you think about it. So what causes a salmonella outbreak? Well, the bacteria, right? And you cut up these melons. And let's just say, theoretically, there was some salmonella on the shell of the melon. It gets into the cut pieces, and then it literally is marinating in there. And if you go buy this, number one, you don't know how long ago it was cut, where it was cut. You don't know if the person that cut it was washing their hands or not. You don't know if that knife was contaminated.
Exactly.
And then those bacteria, they're hanging out on the fruit.
Yeah.
And they like the fruit too. It's this perfect sugar substrate for the bacteria to feed off of.
Do you buy pre-cut fruit?
You know, it's
or
interesting.
Veggies?
I used to before I started doing this show.
I did until today too. The good news is that this is a pretty rare occurrence. I've never gotten sick. I don't know anybody who's gotten sick.
And to answer your question, I do still eat pre-cut fruit. I will continue to. But I do think when there's an outbreak, you need to be aware. If you look at the bottom of that, it should tell you when it was prepared.
All right.
And if it was prepared a week ago and the fruit looks a little bit soft, I would be wary. And if you're in doubt, I would personally throw it out. And if you want to be extra cautious, I think buying the whole fruit and talking about washing off the outside of it, being careful how you store it, know that the knife that you cut through this with, if it's contaminated, what you're going to do is contaminate the fruit all the way through. And if there is salmonella hanging out on the shell and you cut right through it without washing this first, what's going to happen? It's going to go right into the body of the fruit. And that's what people forget is something like this, it's protected, right? But when you cut it, all of a sudden, the protection's gone.
The other thing about melons when you buy them whole like this is just remember how many people in the market may have come and felt the melon and squeezed the melon to see, and you don't know how clean their hands are either. But it is a real issue. There were 9 million foodborne illnesses in the United States last year, and almost half are from fruits and vegetables. So this is a real thing that people are getting salmonella.
I would argue, though, if I may, docs, that you have to be aware of outbreaks, no question. But the cost-benefit analysis of eating more fruits and vegetables always wins out. Don't stop eating fruit. Don't do it. We did test 3 different stores, swabbed the melons to see what might be lurking on their exteriors. We did find fecal matter on the melons, likely contaminated from livestock. This is an important point because there is a proper way to handle and store these. So have you placed your melons in these individual plastic bags when purchasing and storing them?
You're supposed to.
I had not.
Men are terrible at that. Women are good at that.
Well, the idea is that when you bring this home from the market, you should be cleaning it off right away. So take it to your sink. If you need to use a vegetable or a fruit cleaning agent, or just rinse it off really well with soap and water. But then theoretically, you're also supposed to wash off any counters where you've cut the melon and then store it in individual bags. So there's a whole protocol to this that we may not have been aware of, even at home preparation. It's
so frightening that we have to worry about every little thing we do in the kitchen, but a little bit of awareness can save you a lot of trouble. And like you said, Drew, you've been eating melons your whole life. I've been eating melons my whole life. You have. I've never gotten sick. I think the risk is still relatively low, but food awareness is always so very important.